I now want to invite my sister, Catherine Russell, UN Under Secretary General and UNICEF Executive Director. I want to say something about Catherine. She's served decades of experience in public service, was coming from the Biden administration. What I liked so much to say to you about her is she was the principal architect of the groundbreaking U.S. global strategy to empower adolescent girls. Welcome, Catherine.
Winnie, thanks so much. So nice to be here. So nice to see you all. Minister, I'm so fascinated by your title and the fact that you did defense and gender. I love that. I think that's the first time I've ever heard that. I think that shows some real progress in the world. So happy to see that. And Winnie, thank you so much. Excellencies, colleagues, it's really good to be here with you today for this discussion. Winnie, I thank you so much and UNAIDS for organizing this event. And thank you to the distinguished CSW delegates for your participation and your commitment to ending AIDS by 2030. I also wish to acknowledge the potential of Education Plus to accelerate actions and investments to prevent HIV, particularly through working with governments and partners like UNICEF to expand quality access to quality education for girls. We at UNICEF are very proud to be part of this initiative and its work to put girls front and center as creators, as leaders, and as stakeholders to whom we are all accountable. Excellencies, all of you know, girls and women continue to be disproportionately impacted by HIV. Globally, they account for 71% of new HIV infections in 10 to 19-year-olds. And in sub-Saharan Africa, 9 out of 10 new HIV infections are among girls between the ages of 15 and 19. And those, when you stop to think about it, are pretty staggering numbers and quite alarming for the girls who live there. These figures are certainly great concern, and they're a clear indication that adolescent girls face unique vulnerabilities rooted in pervasive gender inequality. And that's why the initiatives like Education Plus are so important. They promote multi-sectoral, which is always my least favorite word, but it is kind of the only word that describes this, comprehensive programming to address the specific needs and vulnerabilities of adolescent girls that can help to prevent new HIV infections and improve their overall health and well-being. HIV prevention, care, and treatment have been central to UNICEF's work with adolescent girls for decades. Just yesterday, we hosted a really wonderful event, which I know a few of you were with us. And the great thing about it was that it was really run by adolescent girls. I mean, it was just fantastic. And everyone who was there just was reminded of how great these young women are and how much they have to add to the discussion. We launched something called the 5 Key Program Solutions for Investment in Adolescent Girls that reflect our determination to end AIDS in children once and for all. And these solutions were created based on feedback that we received through an extensive poll we did of over 500,000 young people, boys and girls, young adults, and it was really fantastic to get their feedback. And guided by these inputs, UNICEF and our partners will use the key program solutions to reach 350 million adolescent girls with a package of essential services and support. The first of these is expanding access to comprehensive adolescent girl-centered health services, including HPV, HIV, and maternal mortality. And of course, these are all linked together. This also includes ensuring that both boys and girls have access to reliable, age-appropriate information about their own bodies, their health, and their nutrition. Second, and really critical to this, is investing in girls' education and skills development, including STEM, financial literacy, and vocational and leadership training. This reflects UNICEF's commitment to meeting the goals of Education Plus and to supporting adolescent girls' transition to employment. I used to serve as a U.S. ambassador for women and girls, and people would always ask me, what if you had to do just one thing? If you had one thing you could do? And I was like, well, you can't just do one thing because, of course, we have to have a multi-sectoral approach. But if I had one thing, I would say keep these girls in school as long as you can. I've seen it everywhere. It makes a huge difference. And I think, you know, we're committed to doing all of the pieces because obviously girls have to be healthy to do well in school. But I think keeping them in school is absolutely critical. Finally, we know that our HIV prevention work must also address critical protection issues for girls. I mean, again, it's hard for girls to do anything when they're facing challenges like child marriage, FGM, and sexual and gender-based violence, all of which increase girls' vulnerability to HIV. Fortunately, social protection packages and economic empowerment opportunities offer real solutions to these problems. plus packages that we're talking about today, targeting adolescents and cash transfers more broadly, have been shown to significantly increase girls' usage of reproductive and sexual health services, as well as improve their school enrollment and attendance. Excellencies, we can make HIV a disease of the past. I have no doubt about that. But we can't do it without listening to, understanding, and supporting young girls and women to take the lead. Looking ahead, UNICEF is urging government leaders to support the multi-sectoral agenda on girls, education, and HIV. For us, this means working across government line ministries to communicate, coordinate, and synergize all of these efforts so that the government ministers and leaders understand how these things are so vitally connected. Now is the time to ensure that every girl lives a life free from violence, with unhindered access to quality education, to sexual and reproductive health rights and services, and with meaningful opportunities to lead a productive life. You can count on UNICEF as a steadfast partner in our collective effort to make this a reality, and I'm incredibly grateful to each and every one of you for your support in this effort as well. Thank you so much.